You know what bothers me the most about DC right now? Well, some looters and rioters decided to burn the bathroom after Donald Trump sicked the military on our own people to come over here and hold the Bible upside down in this church that's under construction. They fixed the place over there, but guess what? It's not a bathroom for the public. It's basically a work shed for the park crew, for the U.S. Park Service, which is cool. They got to take a shit and a piss too, and they don't want to have to pay at McDonald's or Potbelly or any other kind of place like that around here, like Starbucks or Pete's or Tat, or all them other good things. Like, do you call it cargo or quargo? And if you call it cargo, you get charged one amount. If you call it quargo, you get charged another amount. But maybe only in the future, once they put you on that string within the fiber optic 26-inch hot cold channels. So you're fucked all the way around the world with your social score, your credit score, and then the influencer comments and the dickheads at the top who decide whether to fuck you or not. And so that's what bothers me right now, because they didn't install bathrooms for the public. So my friends who have children or grandparents, or hey, maybe anybody who wants to come and take a picture in front of the White House, if those dicks would move that weird shit that's in front of it. But guess what? No one can actually go pee there by the public. And this is 4 years later. That's kind of a fuck you to the public in general. And the Secret Service just rode by going, yeah, why didn't the president do that with their magic voice? And there's a man walking by with a cowboy hat, drinking a Corona, and that motherfucker does not have coronavirus. Hey, man, I see you're a Corona man. I'm more of a Dos Equis man. I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to share my meds. I've been advised by my care team. But I thought you liked to know I'm more of a Dos Equis. You're a Corona man. I like Pittsburgh Steelers. How about you?
I love Pittsburgh ever since Terry Bradshaw.
Did you know I was a fourth string pitcher for the Pittsburgh Steelers? I got caught, dude, because they were changing branding. They're going to change it from the Steelers to the Iron Workers. It's true, man. And you know what happened? They figured out I was a BMX rider for a football team. It didn't work. I also had a job here as a quarterback for the Wizards when they were called the Bullets. When they switched branding, I lost my job as well. Hey, man, have a great night. And I can't, man. It's medication sharing. I'm not allowed. Hey, look, they didn't build you a bathroom so you could take a whiz. I'm sorry. He probably came all the way from Texarkana. He walked here. He's got holes in his cowboy boots, drinking a cold one by the White House. Wants to go pee-pee, and he can't. And then they painted it as if it's a fucking cheese factory from the Green Bay, Wisconsin stadium. Now, everyone knows this is not a Green Bay, Wisconsin town. And anyways, look, it's the KKK devil looking over the big bus. At night, those little dots, they blink red, so it's like blinking red devil eyes. A lot of people say, do you know if the president's home? And I'm like, not really, ever. And yeah, I've been smoking weed in front of the federales and the policia here of all different kinds for years now, trying to work on some ideas, get our friends out of these cages. See, they drive around these big Escalade, Cadillacs, and other weird Suburbans and shit. And basically, if you just squash it one way a little bit and stretch it the other, that's a prison cell. And people have been living in prisons for like 10 years for herb. And then you got the fact that, well, that's someone's brother or sister or son or daughter or mother or father who's been turned into the shit house only in about half the states in the United States of America. The other half of the states are kind of going, what the fuck's going on with the federales? And then there's no real leadership from the fucking White House to speak of for maybe like, I mean, time is a matter of whatever you think. Anyways, them fuckers in the White House got no leadership going on right now. They probably fucking, I don't think they go golfing at Mar-a-Lago. And in fact, the way I've seen President Biden on the news lately, they're probably playing putt-putt golf somewhere, and he's not allowed to drink. That's probably what it is. They should hang out with family and fucking chill. They just turned the lights on in the windows at the White House. I'm going to go down, smoke some more weed, and head back over to Anacostia near the big chair where I live on Frederick Douglass Mountain, and stare over here and think about what them evil devils have done for hundreds of years officially, and for thousands of years unofficially, and for probably over 20,000 years, pretty much clandestinely officially, with including dream weaving, like the fact that there's a dream being spread right now that Donald Trump and President Biden have agreed on 2 debates. That's a dream weave they're spreading right now. The thing is, like, to be a president, there's a few requirements. American born, yes, that's true. 35 years old, yes, that's true. And a resident of 6 months or more each year for the past 10 years in America. That's true, President Trump. And then you cannot be a felon. Now, I do understand he did just receive 34 felons. So, felonies, my bad. Maybe since he has felonies instead of 1 felon, then he's considered outstanding in his work. So, but that precludes him from being president right off the fucking bat. Those are actually the 4 things that either say you can be president. That's those 4 things right there. Now, Joe Biden's pausing the fuck out. I don't know what it is. God bless his family and hope they can help him so he has a nice time in life, but he's pausing out. So I guess the United States is basically fucked. And then we all owe $34 trillion to some non-existent government. And that's the worst part for anybody in the United States of America who pays taxes. Now, the other problem is basically all franchises on a corner in a new neighborhood. Like it's 3 different gas stations like Exxon, Wawa, and Royal Farms. It's owned by the same people and they're from another country who don't have to pay taxes for 5 years on their new businesses. Then when that time comes up, they just switch it to a relative who comes to the country. Then they can basically work for their whole fucking year, don't pay taxes on the millions they make. They can go fly to their country twice a year first class because they don't pay maybe like $250,000 or $500,000 or more in taxes easily every year. They can fly around on first class. They can bring do whatever, have fun. And then guess what? They don't pay taxes. So that's become a nice trend over the past 20 or 30 years because everybody likes to use the law. The law which precludes Donald Trump from even running for president or being president. Also, the law permits probably half to 2/3 of all franchises in the United States from actually paying taxes. So that right there could fix all the bridges because the only thing that fucks bridges up, you have to have a crew constantly painting the bridge, basically. And a large bridge needs a crew working in 2 areas. So that's why all the bridges failed. So also, when we used to give away $60 million to anybody, it was a problem. Now we're giving away $60 billion, but it's not a problem, according to the United States Congress and government, because it was taken as interest from Russian money that we froze, and we're giving it to Ukraine. Now, when their president shows up, he looks like a raver with a t-shirt on, smiling like he's tripping on something, kind of like y'all probably think I am now, but not. But so like he shows up here, Zelensky, now we're sending him $60 billion again. Now, $60 billion used to mean a lot until our deficit went from $2 trillion at the beginning of President Obama. We bailed out the banks and the auto industry, who then they made movies later that show they were just using prostitutes, which are slaves, and lots of fucking hard drugs to run the world. We gave them $1 trillion, and then after President Obama, Donald Trump and Joe Biden racked it up to $34 trillion. We're almost at $35 trillion now, so nobody blinks when $60 billion just gets given away all the time. For my fucking nuts to be dirty in the street and not get help while assholes are gatekeeping for me to even get food stamps in motherfucking Washington, D-fucking-C, probably because I'm against the government. And the government's crooked, as everyone knows. And if the police and the military are crooked, and our government's the most crooked government in the world, and they don't like a bunch of pencil pushers telling every family member they have, from baby to adult, even in the nursing homes who are getting their watches stolen, being told to shut the fuck up and take meds, which they also give to baby kids, which are actually party drugs. So, but they call it medication when you get upset after they steal your shit and tell you, calm down, old man or old woman. Anyways, I lost my train of thought, but guess what happens when the people of the uniforms and the badges and the cloth and the family get upset? They stop looking at the pencil pushers as positive and think of them more as motherfucking, shall we say, off the spectrum of positive and negative to that area where nobody wants to go. And we know they fuck with kids and all the evil shit the presidents do and their families and all them other people that tell them what to do, really. And their evil families, who I think should watch these videos and suck a cock. And I hope y'all burn in airplane crashes while you're stealing humans all over the world and having fun in your dick bag, technology vehicles that drive themselves as you try and lie to everyone and say we flew to the fucking moon in 1969 and the thing that small. Smaller than that bus on some fucking things that look like light posts. Metal posts, those signposts. Put a few of those things together, put half of that bus on a thing, and they say it's over in the museum there, which I've seen it because I grew up in the area since a child. And we flew to the moon on that in 1969, then blasted off the moon and flew back. And remember, we did it live on TV. And we did it just before the Russians. Now, my question is, has anyone ever asked the Russian, did y'all make it to the moon before us and we got there just after you? And do you guys send the chimpanzee into space and we sent the dog? Or did we send the chimpanzee and you sent the dog? I mean, can somebody please fucking help me and help me understand? No, you fucking can't. And neither can anyone. That's why we're here trying to figure it out. As the police drive by and I break a bunch of fucking laws. And it's funny as shit as families take pictures and say thank you. La-di-da-di. Snoop Dogg likes to potty. West, y'all. Who's going to be the next president? Somebody. Now I'm gonna fucking cut that into the soundtrack. Put that horse's ass shit right in the door of the White House. And that's Jackson's horse. Jackson. And all you pussies out there who can't get a hard on until you take a pill, you're either gay, which is okay, or you're not attracted to your wife. Or she's not attracted to you or you did something evil. Sorry, you pill poppers. Let's let that horse now do its thing, and I'll put the soundtrack on of the turd in a minute. Oh, by the way, the buses around here say there's a youth mental health crisis, and they're working on it, meaning Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Aren't they the ones drugging children and calling them fucking weird, and then giving them pills, and their families don't even talk to them? And they're like the fourth key, latchkey generation. Nobody even wants their kids. So everybody just drugs them and says, talk to somebody else. And insurance pays for it. Hey, look, here's the horse of Jackson shitting on the door of the White House. Damn, that horse farts for a long time. I hate to see what he shits on when they come out the door. I hope it's torpedo shit that goes sideways and it hits the peace vigil first and all them dickheads, even at their houses, and then goes that way. Right in the door. Maybe not in the door. I don't think I'm allowed to say I hope the statue of a horse shits in the door of the White House. That might get me in trouble. Am I allowed to say that? That the statue of a horse up here can shit in the door of the White House or should not? Is that even something anyone normally worries about? Not really. Damn, that fucker does shit for a long time.